welcome back. It's been a very long time since I last did a normal vlog which didn't involve the house because it's been all consuming. It's still, I guess, going to plan in some ways, but the plan just changes to whatever Woodside decides the plan is. So it hasn't gone to plan at all, and I was super frustrated this week in that we had worked with a couple of different lenders who have been really easy, and we opted not to go with Woodside's lender because they were the most difficult and the most expensive. But Woodside made sure that they our house up enough and made it long enough that we had no choice but to go with their lender. Now, I'm always disclosing everything, so I won't even do a mortgage that is a residential mortgage and then do a buy-to-let. So I like to just be upfront. So I disclosed absolutely everything up front to all of the lenders. And this particular lender said, you don't need to disclose the homes you own in the UK because they don't come up. So like, okay, but I've let them know, no need for it, fine. So bearing in mind we're now 2 weeks out, yesterday or the day before yesterday, he messages me to say, oh, we do actually need all of your property stuff. And I said, but not only did I ask you at the beginning, I asked him about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and he told me absolutely not, you don't need anything to do with those houses. The big problem that we've got is one of our lenders in the UK only operates by post, which I told them, and it takes absolutely ages. It took me and Selena across 2 days, a couple of hours a day, just to get through to them to order it. Too many details to go through, but I was really annoyed with them because not only have Woodside decided that they'll just build the house whenever they feel and not really communicate, and they've been pretty shocking. Their lender they forced us to go with ultimately is also pretty terrible. And I told him yesterday, I wish I never got involved with Woodside and I wish I never got involved with them as a lender, but you've got us over a barrel, so you've got a ton of our money, so we can't pull out. But if it was my way, I would have pulled out. I think you're all awful, which they are. So I would never buy another Woodside home. I just don't want to deal with them as a business. Anyway, with that aside, we are today going out to a coffee shop because it's the 4th of July weekend, as we keep being told. It means nothing to us, and I have to ask them, that's when you freed yourself from the Brits? And they're like, yeah. Like, should we even be outside? Probably not, but for them it's I guess a big celebration. They get discounts, so we're going to go out and just be outdoors. In other news, we had friends come over for the first time last week or a week and a half ago. Spent 4 or 5 days here, had a great time. It's interesting when people stay here because the homes are so big, you don't even have to kind of interact. They were at the front left, we're at the back right of the house. You kind of meet up when you want, but we took them around. You have to do all the tourist stuff, loads of stuff that we still haven't done. And as a thank you, they took us up to the top of the stratosphere, and I'll put something in here, and it's a rotating restaurant. So I think it's the highest point, it's like 1,000 feet in the air, and it rotates as you eat, which I thought was really fun. And the meal was pretty good as well, so it wasn't just a gimmick. The views you get are amazing. The only downside for me is I wish it went round faster. So I think it does 1 rotation an hour, and I wanted to do like 3 rotations whilst we ate our meal. But that was quite fun and something new, and something that we didn't know. I guess we knew it existed, but I didn't know how it worked up there. But did the typical stuff like casinos, went to, I always get them confused, Valley of Fire. So there's Death Valley and Valley of Fire. Valley of Fire is only about an hour from here. They got to enjoy the perfect weather. They're a bit concerned because they saw it can be 40 degrees plus, but it's not as bad as people think. It's probably high 30s now when I'm out. It's hot, but it's fine. Something else that's interesting, I think I've probably mentioned it in other videos, prices are coming down. So not only is it homes that are already on the market, as in not new builds, coming down, most of the house builders now, they're not reducing their base prices necessarily. They are in some cases if they've got standing stock, but they're offering you 3 or 4% at closing to disguise the fact that they've discounted the house. And I think even at that, they're not going to do that well. There's of course loads of people with cash. We've just come down from one where people are buying 900, a million, $1.1 million homes, and they're buying those outright in cash. But there's probably only a limited number, and once they bought all of the houses they want, very small percentage, everybody else has got to use a mortgage. Mortgage rates are out of control in the sense of, as a consumer, somebody that needs it, to the point where there's people that probably factored in, I don't know, $3,000 a month that now got to pay 3.5, or 3.5 and now got to pay 4 or 4,500, and they're only going up. So a lot of the people that are putting a deposit down for a house now, where it's 5.5% ish, might end up paying 7%, which by the time they get there, they may not be able to afford. So it's quite interesting following the market, knowing that if everything stays the same, and as in the trajectory, 6 months from now, we could probably buy one of the houses that we want. A new day, but I'm back to continue the update. What else do I have for you? Well, interest rates in the UK have gone crazy as well. Not as crazy as the US, because ours are generally always cheaper. But something that's different between the US and the UK is, in general, the UK, you lock a rate between 2 and 5 years. There are 10 years available and probably more, but generally a fixed rate is locked between 2 and 5. The US, you lock it for the term. So often people lock for 30 years and the rate remains the same, which there's positives and negatives to both. They call them ARM rates, or adjustable rate mortgages here, and there seems to be a lot of fear and scaremongering, and it's just not a thing in the UK. We're just used to it working that way. So I found when they're talking about adjustable rates here, it's like, this is going to go horribly wrong. That's how people got caught out before, because when your rates go up, you can't afford the payment. One way of looking at it, we have an example of that where both of our homes in the UK, so I can't remember if I've updated, one of them sold. So we've got 2 in the UK. I think one is at 1.6% or 1.63 and the other one is 1.79. They're both coming off their locks very soon, one in 2 months, and I've phoned around to find out what the new rate is, and it's gone from 1.79 to either 4 or 4.5%, meaning our interest has doubled. So obviously we have to find the money from somewhere, and we never raise our rates on tenants except for things like this. We cannot afford to absorb, like, it's going to be probably 500, 600, £700 across the properties a month that we would have to absorb. Normally I would never put them up, but the cost of everything has gone up. So when the new leases come out, we'll have to look at increasing the rent fairly. Don't intend to try and make more money out, but cover the cost. Interestingly, I had a conversation a couple of weeks with someone that's only ever been a renter, and they were saying they don't understand why they should have to pay more. And the conversation didn't go that smoothly, because they don't fully understand that there are costs for everybody, and if the bank asks for more money, I have to pay them. I can't say, well, I shouldn't have to pay. It just doesn't work like that. Anyway, something we have to deal with going forward. So not only have we got crazy high interest rates here, and on a 15-year mortgage, so we're probably paying a good £1,200 more than we expected back in September of last year. We've now got a double interest rate rise on our properties in the UK, which, yeah, painful at the moment. We will give you a very quick tour. So there's not a huge amount that's changed. We are less than 2 weeks out now, so probably about 10 days out from closing on this house. I've arranged for the shades to be installed, we've arranged for the appliances to be installed, we've arranged for our sofa to be delivered, and our lease is up, so it's happening one way or another. Otherwise we'll be moving into one of the other homes here with somebody, maybe. So we'll give you a brief update on what's been done. Mostly it's to do with the flooring, so we've got luxury vinyl plank, I think it's called, downstairs. It's kind of like an emulated wood or simulated wood downstairs. That's gone in. I've showed before, the tiling is in. The carpet isn't in, but again, that's 1 day or so. Appliances aren't in. I'm interested to see whether they've got all of our appliances. There's still loads of work for them to do, loads of touch-ups, loads of the stucco is falling off here, lots of the bits like this have fallen off. Interestingly, we went up to I think it's called Arroyo's Edge, which is another tri-point community, yesterday, and the stucco they've put on is a lot better. So they started building those like maybe 5 months ago, 4 or 5 months ago. They've completed them already, and their stucco seems to stay on the building. We've been told that there's 2 processes that can be used. One of them, the stuff falls off, like ours, and one of them, it doesn't. I can't say I've ever noticed this before. Even in the property we're in, it's 20 years, older than 20 years old. And it doesn't fall off, so I'm not sure what they've done here. But anyway, they've got that to sort out. They've got loads of touch-ups inside, lots of paint issues, holes in the walls, etc. So it's the 4th of July weekend this weekend, so there won't be any workers in this weekend. There won't be any workers in on Monday, so I hope they've got enough time to finish this. Normally, as I said before, I don't think I'd be too upset. I expect a home to come with issues, but at this point, they've run this out 10 months or however long. They've had more than enough time to get everything in. There's no real excuses. They specifically asked for another couple of weeks so they could make sure they get everything in the home. So I'd be pretty disappointed if they don't get everything done because they've had 10 months to build a bog standard, relatively small home. So I'm not going to do the whole house, but I'll show you some of the things. Hopefully it comes out. You can see there's handprints. This floor isn't too bad, but there are still lots of marks and holes and everything everywhere. So for example, here, they still haven't sorted out all of the lights, which I pointed out before. So there's lots of lights missing. There's lots of AC vents or grills missing. If we go into the bathrooms, and that won't turn on, but I don't know why they've put this here. That seems really odd. That's something that stands out. I don't think the light works in here, but they put the shower surround or the bath surround on, which is nice. It's a full-size tub. The shower rail came down because they installed it wonky. They've not put the light in that we paid for. Obviously all the lights are still missing in here. There's a couple of holes in the walls and marks. Marks really is minor. We're missing the work surface still in here. Missing lots of lights in here and the fire extinguisher cover. Huge hole in the wall still. Still this huge hole. Still no medicine cabinet. I think all of the hardware, so your taps or faucets as they call them, I think that gets installed right at the end, but we have got our work surfaces in here. We've got the solid surface surround, this surround. Oh look, very rarely see a bug. Look at that bug. Don't know what that is. It's like an ant with antlers. Surround is in here. They need to come in and finish taping this off and finish up around there, which I'm not sure when they're going to do that, but let's hope soon. We're missing a light in here as well. The attic thing is missing. Could do the ceiling that they've damaged up there. Down here they've still got the hole in the wall. Surface is in. The surround is in. The flooring is in, which is good. Still missing the toilets from all of the rooms. And then here we see our flooring. Most of it's covered up, which is good. But this gives you a better idea. It is very light. Bit surprising, because I remember it being a bit darker, but this is definitely the right one that we chose. But it'd be nice, we can match it up and accent it. This is the lightest flooring we've ever gone for. And then the next major update would be our work surface is in down here. So I really like it. I had second thoughts about the quartz that we bought. I actually wanted a different one. It had big grey veins, but I actually prefer this now. It's really subtle, you can't really tell. And finally, and they did get it right, I think, just about. It's a little bit wonky, but it's fine. This is our backsplash. So you can see I was concerned about how this fit the line, but actually they did this correctly. Ah, they must have been in yesterday because they finished that as well. This bit was missing last time, but they've come in to finish that. Obviously all the appliances and hood missing. Appliances. So some of the things that they've not done is they're missing the stoppers on a lot of these. So as it closes, it's banging the wood. It's meant to have these on there. Just an update on the home. It needs to be complete in 2 weeks. We don't have any other options at this point. They haven't said it's not. We've got our dates booked in. There's something I didn't show, but all around the outside of the house still isn't quite finished. So they've got like loads of overspray and bits where they've had to touch it up with new stucco. So I'm hoping that they have that all sorted as well before we move in. So in terms of the next steps, we move in 2 weeks from now, under 2 weeks from now. We're then in the UK and France, or France and then the UK for a period of time, a few weeks, I don't know, we're not fixed on dates. And then when we come back, we are most likely getting a dog. So I think we're between 2 dogs, maybe 2 types of dogs. It'll be a bit weird for me because I don't know, I don't have these feelings that a lot of people seem to have where they need a child or need a dog. I find it a little bit weird, and I feel like I'm basically committing to staying put somewhere in life. So it's going to be a huge step for me. But fortunately, the friends that we mentioned, they're super interested in looking after our dogs and doing a house exchange. They live in Bedford in the UK, so they're strangely really interested in letting us go there, stay in their home and look after their dogs who are very old, and then coming here for a few weeks and staying in our home and looking after our new puppy. I don't know why they're really interested in that, but they are. So I think that's it. It's quite a mishmash, a mixed update. It's included lots of different things, but that's where we're at the moment. Hope you've enjoyed. Thanks for watching.